Good evening, welcome to the third edition of Football Bloody Hell. Tonight I've got host Carl Levy, my friend off Twitter Charlie Banks, and TC. How we doing, boys?
We're good, thank you.
Not bad, mate.
Thanks for joining us, boys. It's a wee bit last minute, but that's how it is. Anyway, talking about this week's football, I think we'll just tackle me the news. Us Hibs fans were buzzing about the big Welshman, the big gorgeous Welshman, signed a 2-year extension to his deal. How are you thinking about that, Charlie?
It's exactly what we needed, mate. I think if we're trying to finish third and get Europe next season, then signing Joe Newell down to a new deal is exactly the player we should be getting in. So buzzing with that, aye, definitely.
He's absolutely caviar on the ball, man. See, last season, he caught me giving him abuse on Twitter. He caught me, he called me out, and I was like, oh no. Like, absolutely had a mare here. So, like I DM'd him, I was like, listen, mate, I'm sorry. Like, and he's totally proved wrong the last sort of 18 months. So
aye, definitely.
Months since he's been playing central midfield. I've not watched all the games because I was like, what's he going to be like in midfield, eh?
Aye.
After like last season, it not been that great, but just been quality. He's got something going on, and that haircut's quality. That haircut, man, he's just no bollering.
Aye, he's a good player, really good player.
And obviously, big. See the interview with, don't know if you boys will see that interview with Scott Allen last week. They got released on Sky Sports about his cardiomyopathy. It was heartbreaking to watch.
Yeah, it was really hard to hear that. Really was, and it was shocking to, his future in football is on the ballots at the moment. So, yeah, it's a huge worry for him and for Hibs as well. So I hope he gets well, and hopefully he'll make the right decision what comes to him. And but like I said, things need to be looked more in football at the moment to make sure players from a young age, any conditions need to be looked at to make sure they can play football in the long term, if not short term. So fair play for him to do that interview. It was hard to watch, but I think it was the right thing to warn people like us. This is what happens to football. Footballers are not superhumans; they're just like us. So yeah.
Yeah, it was like, so I minded at the start of the season, he was getting taken off after an hour. Like,
aye.
What's going on here?
Yeah.
And you're like, is he unfit? Is he something going on? And then obviously, you'll mind all the rumours starting on Twitter.
Aye.
What was going on there? Mind that all his problems, he's kind of been falling in the house and all that. And, like, it was just the rumours were absolutely mental. I thought, nobody kens what's going on.
Aye.
I feel like him and Hibs, it was just, you just wanted to see him kind of get better and sort himself out because he's already got type 1 diabetes, so kind of huge.
Absolutely.
Back to full health. I mean, watching that semi-final against St Johnstone was horrible. I think we all just sort of, when you seen Scott Allen come, just like, oh my God, the boy is making his return.
Aye.
And I think it's just been helped this season. We've been doing really well. We've not been like, oh, when's he coming back? We've done really well. And kind of on course to have a record-breaking season and sit third in the league. It's just now I think it's gotten that our form sort of dipped a couple of times because we could have been right up there for second place with Celtic. Celtic have been pushed you.
Aye.
No, I'm a bit gutted with that because I was speaking to Hearts last night. He was like, gutted, you could be like a ball hair away of second.
I think we just lost form at the wrong time of the season, really. Like, December was a horrible month for us. I don't think how many points did we pick up in December? Like 3 if you're lucky. So, but I think it's room to improve on, though. If Lennon's apparently staying at Celtic, like he's saying, then we can push them next year, hopefully.
Well, did you watch it? Well, me and Paul were at a walk when the football was going on Sunday night, and I was like, "What's the score?" I was just like, "Nah, it's 1-0. It's 1-0. County. You kidding?"
Big shag, you know. Big shag. Fucking Jordan White. Fucking cracking either. It is.
Just I couldn't. I mean, I've got to put up with the other side. My missus is a Celtic fan, so
I forgot about that. Yeah.
man, I can put up with both.
Oh dear.
That's shite. Like she's raging. I'm just like, I need to be a Hibs fan for the last 20 years. We can what it's like, eh?
Aye.
Any fan for the last 9, let's be honest, considering they've absolutely on point with the league.
Well, listen, we won the Scottish Cup 5 years ago. We've timed out on that for long enough.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Party every year when the anniversary comes up.
Aye, definitely.
Because I remember last year being pretty fun, Ken, sitting in the house rewatching the final, having a drink and that, and you're like, oh, this is so depressing now. Out and about and then getting in the pubs and that.
Aye.
And having a good time about it. But aye, that leaves two games away from being done. It's mentally. We just ran away with Rangers. Do you think they've been actually that good?
Do you know what? We talked about that on Friday on a Saturday football show. It's just because of what's going on at Celtic. You don't hear much with Rangers, how they've done well defensively. And I think that's always been, people have looked at that thinking how good the Rangers are defensively compared to, Rangers attacking. You look at how Brendan Rodgers did at Celtic. It was more of attacking than defense when he won the undefeated season. But look at this way, it's the defense is done quite well. So it should be in the media, in the newspapers a lot, but I'm surprised it's not. And I think that's helped Rangers under the radar with that. So, they have been really good defensively.
Because as much as I hate the two more than any other teams in the league. Even Hearts, I hate the two more than Hearts because a bunch of self-entitled wankers, they sit and watching they two is hilarious. Like, see ripping the piss at each other, they two. It's hilarious because we just sit back and it's like they've got a problem with. They've got their wee problem with Hibs, which is kind of funny. They get a bee in their bonnet anytime we rip the piss out of them. Especially when it's Porteous laughing at folk, which I think we all love. So when he's like laughing at the two laughing at Stevie G and that, he's like, come on, laughing at myself and all that, but do you think they're going to get the same wank off that Brendan's team did? Kind of like Brendan Rodgers, the Celtic team was totally wanked off for, that whole year until they got beat off Hearts.
I don't think so. I don't think it will be that simple like what Brendan Rodgers did. I don't think so. Don't think so. I think with Brendan Rodgers' team, it was a bit of a, fucking hell. We got to they're still winning until someone had to defeat them. I think it won't be that too long. They won't keep that undefeated for that long when they start the new season. It won't. So.
No. No, there's been a couple of daft results. Like Motherwell's forms fell off an absolute cliff as well, and they've got a manager. And it's been like I've said all season, Dundee United are going down, Dundee United are going down, Dundee United are going down. I think they're the only team. Them and St Johnstone look like the only teams who'll stay out of that in that bottom six sort of thing. Out of that bottom four, innit?
Yeah.
I mean, I think we've all said, can Hamilton just go now? But they just seem to find that. How many times we all wrote them off? Can they just?
A lot. You have fucking wrote off a lot of times, and they fucking proved you wrong every season.
Ackies are that like
Hate seeing
light
it.
switch team, aren't they? Like when they need to, they switch it on and they seem to pull something out of the bag. It's just I wish.
I
They
said
did
it.
that.
I think I said on Friday. Like, remember what Wigan used to be like
Yeah.
in the press, and just start to get into the t-shirt weather. Right, we better start turning it on and get results.
Yeah.
Who we thinking goes down?
Who are we thinking? Or who are we?
Who do you think will end up on
I
down to the
personally,
championship?
sorry guys, I'm going to rob the stage again here, like, but I think I want to say it, but I want to say Kelly. I just think they've replaced the manager too much. Yeah, not too much, too late. I just something's not clicked at Kelly again on Sunday night. When we were at a walk, Andy. We briefly spoke about it, not too much, because then of course that's another story for another day about a wee friend that we bumped into on Sunday night. But
We're not going into that.
having a nice chat about football and somebody just happened to ruin it. But anyway, right, we'll move on for that. And basically, what we're saying was Clark had a momentum. He had an ideology about the club, not just the football team on the park. And I think now that he's away, that ideology is it's just been ruined. Albeit Clark had Alex Dyer, of course, as his assistant, but it clearly is. I'm going to use Livy as an example, right? I'm a Livy supporter. Gary Holt was a great manager, but the mindset was always with Martindale, and it always has been. And at the start, when Martindale officially took over, you didn't see a drastic change as such when we were positive. He was doing the positives because it was all him. I think Clark's the exact same. When he's left, he was the mainstay. He was the main guy pushing the buttons. Clark was just his sidekick who advised X, Y, Z. And I think now that's clear as day, and it's not happening for them at all. So I personally think Kelly will go down. However, if they happen to stay up in a playoff place, I would be happy with that. To send Aki's down, that would be class. But again, then again, if they stay up, they're there on merit. You can't argue that.
Charlie, what are you thinking?
I want rid of Aki's. Like I hate them, eh? After relegating us, like they're just awful, eh? And they've got a plastic pitch. They've got about 3 fans. They offer nothing to the league.
Oh!
But like,
let them.
but they've managed to stay in the league since they came up, so they turn it on every year when they need to. And I think I agree. I think Kelly might face the drop this year because I think they should have replaced Dyer long before they did, and they're not really playing well. Tommy Wright's a good manager, but I just don't think they've got it in them. And if I can see Lafferty crying on the pitch, ideal as well.
Oh.
On the pitch, he gets played.
Yeah, well, do you know what? Yeah, you know what? To go out honestly, I think I'm going to agree with it. I think Kelly's just going to go down. I think you're right, Charlie. They should have changed their manager before. You violated it until after the January transfer window. And for crying out loud, you knew that Dyer knew his job was under the line. He should have gone before to go out this year. And I think bringing Tommy Wright is a little bit too late as well, which is disappointing because if he got in the job before January, I think he would have saved Kelly by now and not be in the relegation playoffs. And I just think that Hamilton will go down. You won't be surprised, but friggin' hell, they're going to prove me wrong. But I think Kelly is more the vulnerable than out of those 4 teams. So, yeah.
I mean, again, I've had an arse with Dundee United. But I just don't like Dundee United. I can't stand them. Again, what done it for me is Charlie Rivers. Remember they beat us 1-0 in the championship?
Aye.
And they were celebrating like they'd won the league.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, fuck you. Nah. fucking tin pot club that had fucking Hibernian to United.
Aye.
Don't get me wrong, I've liked some of their teams, like the team that won the cup and that with Goodwill and Swanson, but fucking the fans do my head in. No. But moving on, we finally got we're on a good run as well. Finally, we done Aki's at the weekend there.
Aye.
I thought that was a potential slip up, like classic Hibs thing.
Aye.
Looking at, we'll get done half Aki's, and I was out on Saturday and I was like, oh, I'm down to 10 men. Still a long way to go. Oh, we're 1-0. Get another 10 minutes. Because we're just, Aki's are one of the teams that just seen it too many times with both leads on.
Yeah.
They gave us a doing.
Aye.
Nah, massive win for us. Here, who takes the penalties now?
Get to Rocky, eh? I think everyone else has had a shot.
Get to Rocky. Nah. Moving on to England. Liverpool once again falls out their arse again against Everton. They've got to be finished now. Their top four finishes off now, surely.
Aye.
Yeah, no excuses now. No excuses. Liverpool cannot make no fucking excuses now. I was tired of your arguing. Oh, we should be exempt from this and that. Why I said, who gives a fuck? You just like, if you're tired of it, you don't do well. You have to take the blame for it. Don't just freaking be like, oh, this injuries. Doesn't matter. You're not even improved the squad as much as you did. So, and Everton was coming there to win. And I was really surprised how Ancelotti tactically did so well against it. And like I said, Richarlison, in the first 3 minutes, you knew that Liverpool was under pressure from the first minute goal. And just Liverpool just wasted opportunities. And like I said, and with coming to the penalty with Alexander-Arnold, with, taking down Calvert-Lewin. It was a joke. And Chris Kavanagh didn't even look at the penalty properly. He didn't look at the VAR properly. He only looked there for 2 seconds. And like, yeah, seen it. Go. I'm like, that's not how you're supposed to do it. And I feel like the penalty was a joke. It was never a penalty. And to quite honestly, it was even a bookable offence as well. So I don't get that one. And it should have been reversed because it was actually clear. What does TA was supposed to do? He couldn't do nothing about it. So, like I said, yeah, exactly. And Everton get the first wave for over even like 22 years. It's quite a long time, actually. So as I said, their top 6 credentials are looking quite well at the moment because after that win, and then the huge news as well, with they get just one chance away of getting a new 52,000 seat stadium approved by the government. So hopefully things are looking. Hopefully things are looking up for Everton. But Liverpool, I'm so worried for them. I'm not having doubts that they will finish in the top 4 now. So, yeah.
Yeah. I just think it's done though. I think there's too many teams. If you look at West Ham, Everton. I mean, United and City will finish top 2. I think it's a battle of sort of 4 or 5 teams for the other 2 positions. I mean, Tottenham's built up. West Ham have just went. That was a massive win for West Ham, and that loan signing Lingard's looking like a genius move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm loving
Absolutely.
that. I'm absolutely loving it. Because I'm a huge Jesse fan anyway. I love him. Anybody says I love the laddie.
Do you see him? Yeah. Do you see him getting back in the first team next season back at Old Trafford?
No. In certain games we could play him, right? But the thing is, we've got Dan James here, who's the same sort of player. Being a squad player, having the pace. I mean, if we're going to play like a 3-5-2 with Rashford or someone else, you can play James as that other man. It's like we already done it a couple of times against Liverpool City. It's going to take. We've got Bruno as a number 10, and even he doesn't play well. He still pulls off. He pulled a goal at the weekend there. He was shite. He was he was shite, man. Like, he was so frustrating to watch, but he's a joy to watch at the same time. I think I'd be more happy for him to go to West Ham and totally redo his career.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It's 2-0 to Leeds now. That's just coming through now. So, yeah, I'll just see who scored a goal with that one. Just give me a second. So, it looks like it was Stuart Dallas scored, and real opportunity actually. Leeds were just coming in. Pablo Hernandez just came on just not too long ago. So, yeah, looks like Leeds have killed the game off. So,
how long to go in that, Carl?
at least another 15 minutes left.
That's mental, mate. That's mental. The Southampton dropping form as well, though. Like,
Yeah, do you know what?
right,
They had a penalty overturned because they thought they had a penalty in the first half, but it went to VAR and Southampton was on us. And surprisingly, since then they've just struggled since that penalty because they had high energy since that penalty got overturned. Yeah, so
yeah, because that scalping at Old Trafford as well. That didn't feel like a 9-0 game. That night, like it wasn't a 9-0 game at all.
No.
No.
I mean, they were done in that game twice. Che Adams' goal was one side, and was it Bednarek or Vestergaard?
Bednarek got sent off wrongly.
Yeah, he did.
It's just it's all apart from because I think he's a quality manager. Like,
aye,
you're not turning that round if you're not a good manager.
Exactly.
They need to back. They're going to need to back him again, though. Like, for him to keep the progression moving.
Well, there's another issue as well with that. Is Southampton are still looking to sell the club. The owners are still looking to sell the club because of the Chinese government is restricting their funding. So Southampton are trying to sell. Southampton is trying to sell the club at the moment. It's been known for quite a while, so because they've really can't spend as much money as it can do. So yeah, you can see Southampton selling the Chinese owners selling their stake either later this year because that's what they need to now to keep the club going because that is a bit of a worry for them at the moment.
I never knew that. So there you go. Because I think he's been pretty poorly back. He lost Højbjerg there in the summer. He told him he wanted to leave him. That's just, and he didn't really replace him much. What did he get? Theo Walcott in on loan. Who else they got in?
They brought Minamino in January for Liverpool.
What a goal that was! He scored.
Oh, what a beauty!
Against Chelsea as well.
Oh, what a beauty!
Some play.
Yeah, they must be knackered. They played on Sunday.
I know they only lost.
Knackered,
yeah, I know because they lost. They had a draw 1-1 against the Saints, so which was surprising because we all thought that we were going to win. But yeah.
The City Arsenal game, that was 1-0 gone on God knows how many for me. 1-0 gone and 10-0. The league done down there, giant boys.
I think so now.
Absolutely.
I think I said it maybe 2 weeks ago, not my first show actually, with yourself, Carl and Andy. Man City, they're at their blistering best, and that's facts. Like, it was all about Kevin De Bruyne. He's not been there really, but Gundogan, I can't pronounce the guy's name. The German guy that is, but what a player! Like he shouldn't even be given a number. He should just be given an instruction to take the back. The guy can defend. The guy can swing a pass. The guy can score. The guy's just an all-round player.
But he didn't even score like much at Dortmund did, Paul. He didn't even score a lot at Dortmund, to quite honest with you. He wasn't more advanced like he is now at City. So, which is very surprising because we all thought he's got the defensive qualities. You know, he can assist a few too, but we didn't know he had to go forward into that 6-yard box and score. We didn't think he had that in him. So.
Yeah, there's a question though. I don't really think at Dortmund at the time he would be given the instruction to do so because you had Royce, Götze in his debut season. Am I right in saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then was Lewandowski still at the team at the time?
Yeah, absolutely.
Aye.
Arguably one of the best goal scorers in European football, if not world football. If you want to have a top 10, he'd be in there.
Mm-hmm.
He's the best striker in the world right now.
Aye.
Undoubtedly the best striker in the world.
Oh, yeah.
Aye.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But no, they've been on real, man. It's frightening. It looks like United sitting top. I thought, like, it was a good bit of banter online. 21. It's good to wind up Liverpool fans, but when you're looking at it, you're like, it's not happening. Like, we've not got a squad capable of it right now. Squad's not capable of winning the league. You can't win a league with a back four. We've got Lindelof and Maguire. That's not a championship winning centre back partner.
Yeah.
Moving on to the Champions League tomorrow night.
Oh, sorry, Andy. I was going to say something there. Sorry, mate. I was going to say that's when you know that the working class aspect of football's been long, long gone. When you're saying that the back line of Man United is not good enough to win a championship, when you've got a player like Harry Maguire, £80 million.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually going to give you Harry Maguire in context, right? See if Maguire doesn't. See if his name Van Dijk doesn't go for the 75 million. He goes for 18 months before that. That's never an £80 million transfer.
No.
No.
Never.
See, 18 months before we got him, right? Not even 18 months, a year before we signed him. Mourinho could have had him for 40 million. And I would have thought that's decent money because we bought Lindelof for 36 million or so, and I thought that would have been a decent transfer. But the thing is, the minute United go in for a player, right, he's English, he can play out for the back, and then Man United going in for him. There's your 80 million. There's your Man United tax. He's English, and he plays in the international team.
Yeah, well, we thought. Listen, I'm not a Southgate fan anyway at the moment, so it is a cause concern with that one. How we go with that squad for the Euros. So yeah.
No, it's like Maguire's getting that much stick. I don't think he's been anywhere near as bad as what people are saying there. Like,
No.
He's 80 million and he's got to justify that fee, but he didn't pay that money. He didn't put an £80 million fee on himself. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's true.
Exactly.
It doesn't make sense anymore. I mean, Coutinho went for what, 170 million or something.
Aye.
And
That's a bit less money, but
Liverpool bought fucking Van Dijk and Alisson for that, and I think they bought Fabinho as well.
Yeah.
So they bought their title winners with that money. So I do think Maguire would look better with a pacey defender next to him, so he's no trying to sort everything else out himself.
Aye, absolutely.
I think he's caught in between sort of two worlds going. I need to sort everything out, but I need to concentrate on my own game. He's not Man United captain anyway. No fucking Man United captain on Monday Sundays.
No.
The captains are not watching. Roy Keane, Neville, Vidic, Ferdinand. I'm not including Ashley in that, so didn't do it.
Yeah.
Did Dan Fletcher not captain for a short spell due to injuries or something?
Yeah. Really?
I thought he did. Maybe 2 or 3 games or so. And even he fitted in.
Paddy Evra and Michael Carrick. Paddy Evra's a bit of a fucking madman.
Even more so that he's no longer in the English Premier League. Is he retired or is he still at?
He's retired. No, he's retired. Yeah.
I thought that.
He retired.
So he's Instagram and stuff like that.
Very much so, yeah.
I can look him straight in the face after the whole chicken thing.
Oh dear.
Can't deal with that, man.
Oh dear. Sorry, lads, 2 seconds. I just need to turn the notifications off on my sought after man. Right.
Well, that is really game over at Ellen Road because Leeds have scored a 3rd goal, so it's game over now. Yeah, Rafinha scored, so yeah. So that takes us into 10th. Yeah, that takes us into 10th after tonight. So
I see you finish top 10.
Aye.
yeah,
In the summer, top 10.
yeah, I know. And do you know what? The thing is, what you and I said so many times is we're gonna see Leeds always play the way they are, and people like really sometimes think it's fucking scratching their thinking, why does Bielsa not change his plan? But Bielsa has his plan, he will stick with it. And I think I think what's happened now, I think he's justified because of the squad we got at the moment, especially on the bench. It's not Premier League quality. We know that, and he's proved it to the boss. Look, we do need to invest in the summer. We do need to make sure we get the right type of players because some of the players won't be there next year. I think Pavetta, who bought from Man City last season, I don't think he's Premier League quality. I think he has to go out on loan at some point. But like I said, give or take, Bielsa will get the squad right. And I think he will justify the summer that he will get the players that he will need. That one is going to be like for Phillips because that's bloody fucking important for us. We need someone like Calvin Phillips cover because he can't do nothing about it. And I think we do need another central defender. I think Llorente has done quite okay tonight, a little bit better than the debut against Chelsea. Fucking remember that quite well when the crowd was on back of him. So, but you know what? Bielsa is doing the best as he can with the squad, and he was going to work it. He was working his ass off anyway till the end of the season, see where they are, and then we can go plan for what we need to get. And we have been linked with so many players as well, again. So we'll see anyway.
You need a keeper.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, look, Meslier. Yeah, it was fortunate for him. He the back, he scored an own goal when it hit the crossbar and hit behind his back, which really was fortunate. And it's just the cover we need. Messi is still young, but he's still got good talent in the next 5 to 10 years. In the next decade as a top goalkeeper. But with Casilla, he has to fucking go. I've been saying this so many times. Every time he came in to cover, we knew that something bad shit was going to happen. So you know what? Don't be surprised with that one. And Casilla will be gone by the summer. I think we will get a decent replacement as a backup to understudy for Meslier to be an understudy. So yeah.
Yeah. Again, this isn't football related, boys, but Tiger's been taken to hospital. He's been in a car crash.
Who?
Tiger Woods.
Tiger Woods.
Oh wow!
Yeah, it's just literally flashed up my phone. I'll finish. I was just sitting going, "Oh shit!"
Bloody hell!
It's horrible, man. What's happened there? That's me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like it will see it. Oh yeah.
And he's like a fixture, like childhood, like not even like being a golf fan, but like, seeing him pop up on Sky Sports and then so he's shagging and all that.
Yeah, he's
Sexting with other porn stars, yeah.
Mate, nobody said anything when it was Van Dijk shagging a porn star, so
yeah, that's true.
So nobody said anything.
That's true.
Tiger Woods is a household name, though.
True.
Like, you generally don't need to be into golf to know who he is.
Exactly.
Front page of a newspaper.
Aye.
Like, he was just him.
Aye.
Right, 2 Champions League games tomorrow. Real Madrid and Borussia Mönchengladbach. Man City, how have you seen them?
Oof. Yeah, well, with Real Madrid, lucky they just won at the weekend because it's expensive Barcelona and Atletico Madrid losing. I'm still thinking, how the hell are they still in this title race? Because, Atletico was just a lead and now they catch up a little bit slowly. But I don't know. I think can't see Madrid getting to quite, doing well tomorrow night. They've really struggled. And you're going against a good team like Atalanta, which you and I talked about along with Nick on our Saturday Football Show. they are one of those underdogs teams you don't want to face, especially at their own ground. And they play, and you know what? The players are on limited budget, but they know how to spend well. So Madrid have got a lot to deal with tomorrow night. But as for Man City will actually go into this with a lot of confidence because, you know, Borussia Mönchengladbach, we know they can be a good, decent team. But you know what? It's not surprising. But City will just come out of those 2 legs quite strongly to ground this year.
You'd expect them to win. It's got to be a lottery whoever wins that or Real Madrid.
Yeah.
It's mental.
Absolutely.
Just the Spanish in general, they're pish. Can you see on Thursday
Aye.
when Sociedad played United, I thought, oh, this is going to be a tough game. Got through the first half and then we just done them 4-0.
Yeah.
They only made a trick. That might be a tricky tie and it's 4-0.
Yeah.
It's a weird one as well because like it should have been probably 5. Rashford probably should have had a second one, but couldn't make up his mind what he was doing. But mad game.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mad one.
And also with Madrid, Benzema's out, so Ramos, Hazard, Cavill, and Marcelo are all out of injuries. That's how bad it is for Real Madrid. So yeah, you can see this game is not going to be good for them tomorrow night without those key players.
No, it's good. Madrid are just a weird team, and they're going through a weird stage. They're skinting as well as Barcelona. Can he pull a sign if anyway?
Yeah.
And it's just a weird one, and Athletics a bit high and high light at the top of that league and signing players like Suarez, and they look class.
Yeah,
Barcelona must be kicking themselves up. Letting Suarez go and he's a top goal scorer in the league.
Try.
It will come back to haunt them in the long run.
Like I hate the bastard. Like I hate him. A passion, but it's the best way. Just proper middle finger. It's proper middle finger to them. It's funny spot.
You know, it's funny. I don't actually see Real Madrid as the same powerhouse as what they were back in the mid-2000s, and I don't think they ever will be. That's just my personal opinion, mainly because I don't really study Spanish football, don't really follow it at all, to be honest. But I couldn't really name their starting 11, whereas back in the 2000s, I could rattle off like that as a young child. You know?
Yeah. No, it's true. The only 2 long-serving players has been there probably since, you know, probably the mid-2000s and late onwards. It's Benzema and Ramos. You know, they're the only 2 players that have been there since that time. And that team's been overhauled for over the years, Real Madrid, with the Galacticos, all that crap. And sometimes the Galacticos was just more about entertainment than winning the league and whatever. That day, it was going for a bit of a wilderness times, not winning trophies for a bit. And like I said, do you know what? They were lucky to win the La Liga last season because what happened with Barcelona. They were very lucky. I can't see them winning against the Cats. I can't see overturning to retain it against their rivals, their city rivals. It's too much for them at the moment. And I think look at how Simeone's changed his system. He used to play 4-4-2, that rigid 4-4-2. You couldn't even get past them. Now they're more fucking attacking, which is very rare to see because they have been rotating a lot more better. They've been squad rotating quite better than they have done for over the past over years. So
yeah, it's a bit mad. Like the technical players they signed last summer, the likes of João Felix. He didn't have the last season, and Simeone's assistant going, and it's totally let Simeone do his own thing.
Yeah,
at that actual club because, and that's a symptom of what was going on at Killy, Alex Dyer, Steve Clark. I know it's two
different match comparisons, but yeah, I get you.
Two different.
Yeah.
It's like the maestro's gone. What's Simeone going to be like? And Simeone wasn't exactly a bad player.
No.
Like Santa Milan and that, you know what I mean? He was a bastard. horrible bastard. Especially what he'd done in '98 to Beckham.
But he knew. But
That funny, but
I know. But the thing is, Andrew, he kind of knows when to make people get them a bit of a stressy mood. The opposition stressy, and he was always good at that. He was good at undermining players quite well. So for Beckham, I know
experience,
exactly,
definitely.
So you just need winding folk up. It's can you? I don't think it's like the same with Morelos up here.
Aye.
Don't just send somebody to fucking annoy him. You know what I mean? It's one of them. I think the most ridiculous thing was when Celtic got beat off Rangers at Parkhead when Kent scored. I got sent off going down the tunnel.
Aye.
Or going off the pitch. What the fuck are you doing? And I love a bastard on the field, right? But no somebody's going to do something like that. Like, just unreliable as fuck. But I suppose, right, we'll get on to the big one this weekend. PC. The big one, innit?
I've been asked a lot about this during the week. Well, since yesterday and obviously Sunday, marking the week, beginning, of course, to the big day. But I was actually briefly just talking to one of my mates, one of the fellow Livy fans, and he's kind of in the same kind of feeling as me. It's, again, another cliche to sum up the COVID football, but it's weird. It doesn't feel like the build up to a cup final. But you know it's a cup final. So you're a bit like, you're nervous, you've got the anxiety, you've got the worry, you've got, what if we get embarrassed? Then you've got the kind of small glint of positivity. You know, Robinson's back. Pun intended, because of the back injury, but he's back from his back injury. We have a slight issue. I never thought I'd say this. I personally want to see Max Stryjek in goal because he is the mainstay of us getting there. McCrory played the group stages, but apart from, if I'm right in saying one, was it? No. In fact, no, I'm talking nonsense. He's never played in the League Cup for us this year. It's always been Stryjek. So that basically backs up my point even more so. I feel that Stryjek should be in goal for us in the final. But in terms of a starting lineup, there's one person that I feel we really are missing, and that's Kieran Brown, because the pricks at Cardiff took him back. Why would you take him back and do a domestic final? Like, he's not even playing at Cardiff. He's still in the squad. And yeah, he was absolutely flying for us. He came to us as a centre-half / left back, and he left as a left-sided fucking eulogy, right? Fucking signed, sealed and delivered and buried. Boom. But aye, cracking defender. He really was coming into his game. Really loved it up here. He could also swing a ball in, you know, the goal against Celtic to make it, I think it was 2-2, if I'm right in saying, or 1-1, one of the two. He was heavily influential in that goal. Sorry?
The game in the snow.
Aye. No, it was great. And then, ironically, in one of his last games, he got his goal, which, in fact, it was the same game. He scored and then he got the assist. Yeah, of course. My boy. But, yeah, we just need to take what we've got, go for it. Hopefully, Devlin comes back into his game, unlike he did against Dundee United. None of the players were really exceptionally good on Saturday. Unfortunately, I didn't see the game. I had to do some adult stuff, you know, like see the girlfriend, you know, those unfortunate stuff. Yeah, didn't get to see the game. Couldn't really give you a full-on assessment of Saturday. But from what I've heard, there's a mixed bag. There's people that are in the confident camp and say, yeah, we came all guns blazing, we were good, we deserved the point. Others are saying it's a 3 points dropped. And then there's other people saying that we're extremely lucky we got the own goal. If we hadn't, we would never have scored. Which I personally am glass half empty kind of guy, especially when it comes to my football teams. either national or club level. I'm such a negative Nancy. So, but yeah, hopefully, yeah, never thought I'd say this, but hopefully Jet can do his magic and hold the play up well and disrupt St Johnson's play at the back. Ruffle him up a bit. If he's ever called into action, hopefully it won't be, and Robinson will be able to last a fair whack of the game. But obviously, you've got to think of the bigger picture. Scott Robinson's back was hurt. It's your back. It's not a wee, a wee dead leg. It's serious. It's something that kind of left him in a wheelchair. If we really want to go extremities. But yeah, he's apparently looking good. He's looking fresh, and he's good to go and play on Saturday. So hopefully, aye. And also, of course, you've got Bartley as well. He's been hot and cold this season. Personally, I think he's kind of coming to the end of his tether. Playing full-time top-flight football. He's been a great servant for the short period of time he's been with us, the 2 seasons. Well, this being the second season, of course. However, I'd love to get him not just a trophy for us, but for him as well. He's
won the up here.
Yeah.
He's also won the big one with us.
Aye. But I'd love him to seal it with one at Livingston being a captain as well.
Aye.
So, that'd be fantastic. In terms of who starts the game, I want to so bad to want to include Effie, but as Martindale even says,
thumbs up, mate.
Martindale even says he doesn't even trust Effie, and then he says Effie doesn't even trust Effie. So
that sums Effie up.
But this is my starting lineup. I think it'll probably change come Sunday morning. And I've had a few.
I'll probably change tomorrow.
Potentially. But this is what the ideal lineup would be. We stick with the same formation we've done all year. There's no point in changing it because we know at times it does work. So we'd go in goals, Max Stryjek. Back 4, I'd go Serrano at left back. Of course, Guthrie. And personally, I think I'll edge it and say Effie, mainly because he is experienced and on his day he is a good defender. It just scares the absolute living shite out of everybody associated to Livingston Football Club. And of course, Devlin at right back. And then, of course, Bartley in the holding midfield position alongside Sibbald. Or Holt. That's the one I'm kind of unsure of, right? Sibbald is great on the ball, right? Does a lot with it, gives us that attacking outbound, but he's also a chaser. He hunts the ball down. He's hard working, which of course that just nullifies Livingston's ethos. It totally everything about us. We're hard working. We close players down. Exactly. We're rough and ready, hard and good to go. I don't know who I'd have, but also even from set pieces, like Jason Holt and of course that other man there on the right, Josh Mullen. So potentially you could have Bartley, Holt, or Bartley, Sibbald, and on the right, Mullen. On the left, you could potentially have Sibbald instead of Forrest, and then have Forrest coming off the bench, which is not a bad thing at all. Forrest is quick, speedy. He can put one away if he can. So, yeah, I'd probably, thinking about it more, I'd probably have Sibbald on the left, Mullen on the right, Holt, Bartley, and up top, I would, of course, have Robbo. And God forbid it doesn't happen, touching wood, Harry would be best. If it just so happens that Robbo isn't fit on Saturday, then I would personally like probably Jet up top to try and ruffle some feathers. Because let's be honest, he's not scoring. He's not scoring again. Not yet. He's scored twice for us. Sorry, 3 times for us. Twice against Airdrie in the league format of the League Cup, the group stages. and then one against Kelly, which is an absolute mental blunder from the goalkeeper. It was like a 25-yard stretch.
Oh, yeah.
It was like total t-shirt. It was through the keeper's arms. So
And you're
yeah.
not from Pits, are you? You have Pits in behind
Yes.
or Robinson.
I missed Pitts.
I know, I was looking at you going,
Whoa!
I guess we spoke about him on Sunday, man. So hopefully you can't no having that.
Aye, so Pitt's in the front of the kind of awkward diamond, if you want to call it that. Yeah, it's weird. It's like Pitts doesn't do that much to the open eye, but does so much to the open eye. It's weird to describe. Like, there's sometimes you'll go, oh, he's fucking shite today. But then you really put it into context and you think exactly what he's doing. One, off the ball. Two, when he gets the ball. Like, he makes himself available. And it's sometimes you see him in certain situations. Like, there was a chance against Aberdeen and he hit the post. And then on the rebound, he skied it. See, if he just took his time, showed off the player, slotted it, he would have scored. Instead of that, he rushed it, he puts it out his feet and he hatches it at his left foot, skies it. But again, that is the kind of player he is. He's not a goal scorer, even though his record recently would tell you he likes a wee odd goal here and there, but he's a link-up player. You know, he brings it into the middle, he spreads it out to the wings. Joshy or Sibbald, or of course Forrest, if he's playing, he'll bring it into the box, either attempting a cross into the box, which if it's Mulsey, 100% the cross into the box is happening because he's a fucking postman and he delivers. Bye. Love it, Joshy, man. A new father as well. He's just not yet, of course, not official yet. I think the pregnancy only happened maybe the last 4 months. But aye, he's in a good place, you know, newfound father, cup final. Aye, I'm looking forward to him just wrecking it apart on Sunday. Don't know if you can tell, but he's one of my favourite players, right? But aye, in terms of how I feel about the result, again, as I said, not 100% confident. I would say St Johnstone have come on leaps and bounds in the start of the season. How they play is how you counteract Livingston. And they proved that in the league game that they beat us 2-0. They're heavy-handed. They play for fouls professionally, within the rules. Kane, that I can't remember his first name. Aye, but he was getting fouls left, right and centre, especially off the likes of Bartley. And of course, Jet was just using his shoulder, big 7-foot frame that he's got or whatever it is, and he was just hitting the deck and he was getting fouls left, right and centre. The two goals that we conceded in that game were uncharacteristic of Livingston, but the marking was horrendous. And I think if we're to win this trophy, I need to bring it back to the Vale. That is what we need to get sorted. Defending from set pieces. And of course, when we do get a chance in the break, take it. Which also takes to my point why Robbo hopefully will be fit, fully fit.
Aye, because he can press the play.
Aye, and he holds the ball up extremely well with pace, which is weird in saying because that's a total oxymoron. But yeah, he does. And he's been sadly missed in the past 3 games. Sorry, Andy.
The thing is with St Johnstone, with this final coming up, you've had polar opposites in form since getting to the final. They gave us a hiding. Like, that's fucking horrible to watch. I mean, the only, green light of it was Scott Allen coming on the pitch. It was fucking horrible to watch, honestly. I mean, there's a semi-final.
Aye, there's an argument you can give, and it's the old cliche in football, which I know I'm going to say, boys, but it's a cup final. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
The only thing that, unfortunately, I'm going to say end in a negative, but let's be honest, I'm not going to end because it's me and I've talked for fucking days. But it's a cup final. Football is all about the fans. As you know, no fans will be present at Hampden Park. that is the only thing that hits you hard. Not only is it for the fans, it's for the club. You know, it's all about, you know, a Scottish domestic final. But at the end of the day, these boys are doing their job, and this is the pinnacle of their job in certain aspects. A lot of these players might never ever get to a cup final or even play for their country, or, you know, this might be the highs that they'll achieve. You know, this might be the highest they'll get. They might never play in Europe. I mean, touch wood, that happens at some point when fans are allowed back in the stadium. But, you know, for us, again, that was something I missed out on in the early days. I didn't make it to Vaduz or Stormgrass back in 2003. But I'm old enough. I pay my own way, you know. We fly ticket to hopefully a wee German trip would do nicely, you know. We German lager. But yeah. Aye, so it would be nice to have them known that they are playing in front of a packed Hampden crowd, albeit at St Johnstone and Livy. The chances are filling that out 50,000 are pretty slim, but at least there would be fans there. There would be an atmosphere, you know. There would be that tension. There would be that feeling of a cup final, and I think that's all I'm more worried about. Eh?
Classic a cup final, like when you watch the FA Cup final last year and you watch the
Arsenal
final, you're just like, this is fucking shite.
Exactly.
People calling for cunts and Sky and all that, having to say sorry for the language you may have heard. Shut up. I want to fucking see it. I want to hear it. The thing is, like, St Johnstone just went pumped Motherwell, and if, like, I was saying to Charlie before we came on, the stats in that game were fucking mental. Like, 20 odd shots in the game, and they just went on leaps and bounds. I mean, they finally got that hoodoo beating us in a semi-final, because we've done them twice. And they're not even playing Stevie May, you know what I mean? He's meant to be the main man. And their defence on that back three solid.
Aye.
I mean, Hibs have got money in the summer. We better go and get that IB Jason Kerr.
He's been confident in set pieces as well.
Mate, he's fucking quality. I didn't realise until it was all your Twitter that, like, he's in here and he's Hibs staff. I'm like, I'd be Hibs staff came through St Johnstone. And then you go and scroll through Twitter and that, and you're like, what the fuck is he doing in Hibs? And him and Portis would be trouble at the back, like, because they just go through cunts. But man, it's like Sunday, like, it's again, cup finals are like on day and it's a cup final, but I think this is the most unpredictable cup final you're going to have in a while, because there's no old firms, and if what's going to be maybe be the the top 4 or 5 teams in the country, they're not there. You know what I mean? I think it's the first cup final, first League Cup final anyway for a long time. This just happened. Well, Ross County won the last one before it was Celtic that won everything, because Ross County beat us in the final. Sickening.
Right. Oh, and that's another thing as well. I've never been to a domestic final that Livingston have been in except from the Challenge Cup. Couldn't make it to the game with him.
I was at your last one. Fuck off.
So was
And this is another one I can't go to. So somebody hates me. Somebody hates me. Right?
Fucking spewing that game, man. You're thinking, right? We've got Biden, O'Connor, Dobie, Brown, Thompson, fucking Tampax. We've got to pump these.
Aye.
No, we had Hernandez, Marvin Andrews at the back, Oscar Rubio, McNamee, McAllister, of course, one of the goal scorers, Derek Lilly, Lovell, of course, the captain. Oh, Michael.
That was some Livy team though. Like that first couple of years of Livy being in the league. I got first.
Roddy McKenzie in goal.
He's a fucking wanker though.
Yeah, it's coming.
Like, I've heard he's an fucking wanker. People are saying in interviews and that he's an absolute wanker.
Well, just give it. Go on.
What I'm going to finish on, right, is the fact Hearts was just fucking pushing that championship.
Your tongue out.
Right. No, I don't want to pick these fucking gambles, right? These are units for drawing against the likes of Morton. Maybe we couldn't beat Morton last year in the championship, eh? Right. What was the score at the weekend?
It was Jamie Walker. I think it's
I know Walker scored. But was it would have scored for Morton or something?
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Because Robbie Nielsen was Robbie Nielsen was serving a 2-game ban for misconduct the other week. So to be quite honest, I can't even have no excuse for that one because we could have won that game against Green Park, but bloody hell, we conceded the first goal. I'm like, this is gonna be a draw, isn't it? So you know what? I'm not even gonna say nothing much on that one because that was a bit of a rubbish weekend for us. So
and last week Andy Halliday shitting himself with Willie Gibson. Yeah, bro. That's fucking priceless, man. Walks away, he's like, fuck off.
I know.
Bad, man.
I know.
Fucking kill
Yeah, well, do you know what? I'm over and done with that one, actually. Bayern Munich have scored. Bayern Munich have scored. It's that man again, Lewandowski. A poor back pass from Musacchino. Arena rushed off the line, but Lewandowski just sprint past him and just scored in the empty net. So 1-0 to Bayern Munich. Very surprising, not surprising at all. Yeah.
Chelsea Atletico, that's got to be an interesting one as well.
Yeah, it's still 0-0 at the moment, actually. And Atletico, do you know what? They're taking less possession. Chelsea at least 70% possession compared to Atletico's 30. So this is going to be one of those moments again that Chelsea are going to try to find hard to score, and then Atletico will just counter attack at the moment. But Chelsea's just had a bit of a frantic start. Mason Mount get the quickest yellow card in the game for the season. So, but Chelsea started a little bit okay, but at the moment it's still 0-0.
Yeah, that's some attacking team Chelsea played though. Like Mount, Giroud, Werner, and Hudson-Odoi.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. It's interesting pick because Hudson-Odoi came off the other week, and let's say Thomas Tuchel was not happy with his attitude. At least he's given another chance. So, but like I said, Atletico Madrid are going to defend, and especially with Suarez, like I said, they'll continue with their 3-5-2/4-4-2 when they defend. So, we'll just see how that goes on.
I can't believe Hudson-Odoi's actually playing after Tuchel what he came out and said.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tuchel came out and criticised his attitude for coming on and all that.
It was a strange one, wasn't
it? Very strange,
Did he bring him on and take him off?
Brought him on at half time.
And then he got taken off. I couldn't believe that because I came in and my dad was like, have you seen what happened to Hudson-Odoi? I was like, no. Like, I was going around the bloody zoo.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. Thomas Tuchel's not fucking. He's not fucking. Thomas Tuchel's not fucking about, and this is the problem. This is what he had to deal with. What happened at PSG? He's not fucking about with these players because these, yes, they were big stars like big stars like Mbappe, Neymar, but you know what? He was not going to fuck about, and that's what kind of cost him his job at PSG in the end. But to be quite honest with you, he's not fucking about with some of these young players. Some people have got to, especially under Lampard last season, where they did quite well, despite the transfer ban. Some of them I need to step up to play properly. I know Hudson-Odoi has been removed red so many times over the last 2 years or so. But you know what? He has to, Tuchel's not missing about, you know, and hopefully he's going to give a chance at some point to Billy Gilmore at some point this late during the season, because I know, you know, that is going to be huge for Scotland and for you guys to get him in the squad, because, you know, I thought he was going to go low because there were talks he was going to go low, but Tuchel likes it. He just wants it to build more body muscle. That's what he likes. He likes big body muscle type players. So, and Gilmore with his, you know, very, you know, slim, I think he will develop in time. But I think what Tuchel's not doing is not messing about with the squad. I think this summer it's going to be interesting who he buys and who he sells. So, yeah.
Yeah, 100%. There's more news on Tiger Woods, by the way. He suffered multiple leg injuries in a single couple of years. That's not good considering the problems they can.
I read on Twitter that the car flipped, so he's having to get surgery on his legs. Oh, his legs, sorry.
He's going to miss the Masters now. That's huge. Now he's going to miss the Masters coming in March, April time. Yeah,
that's his season finished, I would say.
Oh yeah, no, I don't think he'll be back for a while. Yeah,
that'll be him for another year.
Oh, easily.
Leg injury. You don't know how the affect his back movements because he's got massive back problems, hasn't he?
Aye.
He did, and I think after that last surgery he had, I think he felt more better. I think those injuries he had, it's just with the back. He just the surgery, the last couple of surgeries before he was successful was just too much for him. So, and I think he had to change his swing and all that stuff. And I think that what helped him winning the Masters 2 years ago. So, you know, we thought he was going to come in as one of the favourites, but before till now with the accident. So, yeah, it's going to be unfortunate. He's going to miss the rest of the year now.
Yeah. Do you think this is a fault or too much? I mean, you see what champions do. They fade away and they come back.
Yeah, well, this is an interesting one because, like I said, Liverpool, after 30 years of winning the league last season, and now they faltered away, which is very surprising. Really surprising. But Tiger Woods has won so many. Yeah, I know he did. And Tiger Woods has won so many championships. We didn't think he was going to, falter over a decade ago after not winning his last title. So until he won the Masters. So champions can falter, and sometimes it's hard to bounce back sometimes.
100%, man. Right, boys, I'll leave it there because I don't think there's much we can chat about now. It's only Tuesday in the week. I'd like to thank you all for coming on. Charlie, Paul, thanks very much, boys.
No worries, mate.
Anytime.
You want to plug your podcast you've got coming out, Charlie?
Aye, so me and my mate Calvin are doing a new podcast called Strong Opinion Hibs. The first episode getting recorded tomorrow and it'll drop on Saturday. So I'm looking forward to having our opinions heard, hopefully.
Good luck there, mate.
Oh, it's got to be good. Right. Thanks for coming on, boys. Carl, I'll see you on Friday for Sam Radio on Friday.
You will do indeed. I will be waking up quite late, but I'll be on there.
Right, boys.
Take care, guys.
Take it easy.
Cheers.
Cheers.